afternoon. This is Puzzling Over Puzzles, and the problem we will be addressing today is how disabilities develop in the elderly and what we can do about it to improve and restore hope in their lives. Our names are Brinley Peck,
Vidya Muthukumar,
Aniket Golakoti,
and Grace Acevedo Herrera. Imagine a world where therapeutic jigsaw puzzles are routinely prescribed to individuals 65 and older with cognitive challenges. What if, by simply engaging in puzzle-solving activities, we see measurable improvement in the way they think and navigate the world around them? The question we are addressing and advocating for today is, how does the use of puzzle-solving activities as a therapeutic approach improve cognitive development amongst individuals 65 and older with neurocognitive disorders? In the 1760s, an apprentice to the king's geographer created a teaching tool by cutting maps into pieces for the children to assemble. This became the basic idea for the modern jigsaw puzzle. This is accounted in the Legal Information Journal, Volume 20, published by the British Irish Association of Law Librarians to Cambridge University Press. Our brains are like puzzles. Sometimes pieces are missing. Puzzles help stimulate and restore brain function. Brain memory loss is a significant issue affecting the aging population in the United States. Puzzles can help restore all of that. We have separated our claims into 3 distinct sections.
starting with memory and cognition. According to an academic peer-reviewed journal, Winnie Chi, a professor of global health policy in the Department of Global Health and Population at the Harvard T.H. Chan School of Public Health, conducted research that showed an increased average rate of change in the dementia prevalence, a neurocognitive disorder where a person's thinking, memory, and daily functioning declines over time. As we can see in this graph, the Y variable represents the percent, while the X variable represents different age groups. For example, age groups 65 through 69 have a prevalence less than 5% and around 200,000 cases, while age groups 90 plus have a prevalence almost 15 times the amount the prevalence age group 65 to 69 have and almost 700,000 cases, showing as each age increases, the percent prevalence and dementia cases also increase, showing a direct proportional relationship. Patrick Fissler, a researcher specialized in neuropsychology, clinical psychology, and cognitive psychology at the University of Konstanz, Germany, stated, "Puzzle solving requires several mental skills, such as recalling where puzzles fit, recalling colors and patterns, which help with short-term working memory and long-term episodic memory." Now looking at this graph here, the Y variable correlation R means a statistical relationship between two different variables. Now R can either be positive or negative. In our case, R is a positive number. Now what do these numbers mean? 0.0 means no relationship at all, while 0.8 indicates a strong relationship. Now the X variable shows different cognitive abilities. The one we will focus mostly on is visual memory, as we can see is strongly correlated to solving puzzles. As we can see in this graph, it is 0.8, meaning if individuals solve more puzzles, their visual memory tends to increase, which helps them with long-term cognitive development and recalling information.
how do therapeutic puzzle-related activities benefit elderly with disabilities? Now, disabilities cause major risks to mental and physical health in the elderly. Healthcare professionals are working diligently to develop intervention that aims to improve the daily functioning of our elderly. Here we have a study done by the School for Public Health and Primary Care at Maastricht University in the Netherlands. They conducted a 600 individual survey on elderly with disabilities. In this survey, they asked which disadvantages they believe their disabilities pose to them. These included walking difficulty, exhaustion, and low physical activity, all in high ranges in variable 1. Now, they put them into 6-month treatment, of which they engaged in mental activities and daily physical activities. After this treatment of mind-engaging, puzzle-solving therapeutic activities, we see a significant decrease in how many elderly struggle with these disadvantages. The increase went down all the way by nearly 5%. per each category. This proves just how beneficial therapeutic puzzle-related activities can be for us. NeuroLaunch professes puzzles to be a powerful and profound tool in battling back disabilities in the elderly. Here, the Department of Psychological Science from the North Carolina University in Charlotte developed this graph, which compared the puzzle-related games and fighting games on the heart rate they cause their players. Here we see that the fighting rage games had a largely more fluctuated heart rate, and which was put more at risk, while the puzzle-related game kept at a more stable rate for the heart, which is far more favorable for at-risk patients such as elderly who may have heart conditions and disability risks.
So, how can society actually use puzzles? Our first point is technology drives healthcare advancements, allowing more opportunities for cognitive therapy development. As we use puzzles as our main therapy mechanism, we can actually open up our spectrum for the biomedical perspective. The impacts of puzzles lead researchers to find more data about medical science in order to prove their points and increase healthcare opportunities. The biomedical implications are vast and expansive as technology continues to grow. According to Technology and the Future of Healthcare, Harold states, technology affects healthcare as one of the most key players in the role, and technology continues to increase as seen in future trends and dramatically. Because of this, we can actually incorporate technology into puzzle-solving mechanisms, and additionally, as we can see in this graph, we can see that the contributions toward healthcare spending growth, most of the contributions are towards technology. This shows that technology actually has one of the highest player role in this equation. And on the y-axis, we can see the different groups of organization, and these are the studies over the period of time. Puzzles. Okay. Moving on to our solution. Our purpose is to evaluate the effectiveness of puzzle-solving activities in improving cognitive development in individuals 65 and older with neurocognitive disorders. Our plan is to implement standardized puzzle testing procedures in order to measure their cognitive function. We can use the MMSE and the MOCA standardized procedures to measure their pre-cognitive function and the cognitive development of these elderly after our medical rehab program is done.
Now, our solution, while vast in its restoration and hope in the disabilities of elderly, there are a few limitations. Some of these limitations include the severity of which these elderly suffer in disabilities. Here is a graph made up by Rowan Harwood from the Nottingham University, and he showed just how which disabilities affected the elderly most. Now, dementia turned out to be the most receptive to our therapeutic puzzle-related activities. However, some of the other 7 classed disabilities, such as active psychosis and severe continuous migraine, seemed less receptive to our treatment. The other limitation we experienced was intrinsic motivation, which in other terms is movement. Here's a graph showing how motor movement in the elderly declined as they suffer from their disability. Severe ones being as much as 3.8% of this current study of the population. And the total disability, moderate to severe, was 17.1% of our elderly's population. This PLOS Global Public Health chart shows us just how impeding disabilities can be. Thank you.
Clap. Oh yeah, we haven't done one yet, so we don't have clap. But will you take one step back? Now you're And okay, we're gonna start on your side and work our way across. Can you tell me how your group decided how to include Grace's perspective or her paper in your overall presentation?
So our group actually included Grace's historical perspective by giving background information on how puzzles were developed in the past. And then we build off of that with a research question because we understood the importance of puzzles in the first place because of Grace.
Okay. Next up, reflecting on your colleagues' work, which one had the greatest impact on your overall understanding of the problem that you identified?
Reflecting on my colleagues' work, I would say Brinley's perspective had the greatest overall contribution in our presentation because Brinley's individual report was about the perseverance of puzzles and how puzzles can actually help individuals overcome such disabilities, which gave me a thinking that, wow, we can actually use such information to create innovative ideas and look at vast categories of symptoms and utilize that to create a solution and help these patients.
All right, brilliant. What's a way in which your team's resolution makes you think differently about the research you did?
Due to our resolution, which is upon how therapeutic puzzle-related activities can help disabilities, it made me think differently on my research because as I went into how disabilities affect these elderly, and it seemed hopeless at the time, but because of our resolution and because of Vidya's psychological cognitive findings, we were able to come to our presentation resolution that there is hope and a way to overcome these disabilities.
Okay. Save the best for last. If you had a fifth member of your group, what could they bring that would have added to this presentation?
If we had a fifth member of our group, we would have added a perspective on accessibility. While we were creating our research question, we were thinking of older individuals who do have access to these therapeutic tools. Though Anna Kate did talk about accessibility in his paper, we did want to expand on it.